let's see. Grotus, since you were in here first, if you want to roll up our 100. $21. Okay. This is an interesting question for circus folks. Let's see. Have these written down. All right. Question is, does your character have any noticeable scars? And if so, what's the story there?
I mean, yeah. I'm a fire eater.
Mishaps in practice.
Indeed.
Yeah, I'd say Maz definitely has a bunch of like scars on her hands and like upper arms from practice.
Okay. I guess Honker wouldn't particularly have any scars, but I guess do you have any particularly noticeable chips? How do you?
Yeah, over the past week or so, probably like small burn marks are beginning to appear on I'm Honker.
Okay. All right. How about you, Grotus?
Grotus is absolutely covered in scars.
Whoa, echo. Hold on.
Okay, we got it fixed.
There we go. Now you're good.
Yeah, Grotus covered in scars, and probably most noticeably his very distinguished asymmetrical busted up nose that's been broken and reset so many times.
All right. All right.
Wouldn't a better question for Grotus be, is there any part of your skin that's been untouched?
It's not scar tissue, it's tattoo.
Fair point. All right. Well, I know it's been a hot second. Does anybody remember anything about last time? If not, I can.
We went to a new town.
We did.
There was a lot, but I left my notebook in, and nope, I have it with me. I just haven't dug it out yet. I'll let you do it.
All right. So, yeah, you are right. You guys did go to a new town. So you guys have traveled across the island here to Escadar, and trying to find a place to get set up. And there's also the trouble that the Mistress Dusklight and her circus are around this area. But you guys got into town, and you managed to have some negotiations with one of the city officials, and they got you set up with a plot of land kind of on the outskirts of town. It needed a little work, which was still in progress last we left. When you guys were out here poking around, there was some stuff in the woods, and we looked at some of it, but there's still more to be seen. You guys were poking around in the woods here, kind of behind this plot of land, seeing what was going on. Had a little encounter with some will-o'-the-wisps that were back here on these little islands in this little swamp. But yeah, there's a few trails kind of going off into the woods here that you guys are checking out, as well as in the process of getting things set up and cleared with the land for the big tent and everything else. During the night there had been signs of wolves or other creatures that have been kind of lurking around the camp, so trying to see what's up with those and make sure everything's safe and hunky-dory. We did also have Nini. They went over and kind of poked around a bit in Mistress Dusklight's place on the west side of town and tried to cause a little trouble, and found that there were some members of the circus there that were kind of disgruntled, at least from overhearing their conversations. Yeah. So last we left off, we were here on this little swamp island here. Just squash some little light bulbs, and yeah.
We also determined that the disgruntled people were tieflings.
Yes.
And Maz got information that they don't seem to go out of the camp very often. None of the Dusklight people do, but there's I think it was one bar that they've been seen at.
Yes, I believe so. That sounds right from what I recall. But yeah, there are some potential inns there. I mean, most of you at least had previously worked there, so there's probably people that you might know that are still there. But yeah, it seems that Mistress Dusklight tends to keep a generally pretty tight ship. And you guys did ask around the town a bit, just kind of trying to find out some rumors and stuff. And there had been, people were talking about how there were people who had left, or people who had, tried to bring things to light who just kind of got disappeared. And so things kind of keep on the down low, it seems, for fear of Mistress Dusklight stepping in and doing whatever she does. But for now, you guys are kind of working on getting set up, getting shop in place, so you guys can do a show here, start making some coin, and start looking into stuff. So yeah.
All right. So we'll continue, I guess, getting our circus camp. That's probably be priority 1. And then getting Mistress Dusklight caught in his trap should be probably number 2. And then the whole time we still got that Moonstone Hall Fate of the World business, it seems.
Yep.
That's our side hustle, though.
Saving the world for fun. Saving the world for fun.
Just to be clear, that's not why we're in town, all right?
Right.
So I guess, how are we on not getting our asses kicked and time of day?
Oh, sure.
Should we do more of that, or?
Time of day wise, so you guys just finished up these will-o'-the-wisps. Generally, you're okay, except for Grotus and Nini. You two both got a bit of a whooping from the wisps. Everyone else is generally fine, but you guys are hurting pretty. Nini especially. If I remember correctly, I think Nini had gone down at one point.
I think so.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. Nini had gone down at one point during the will-o'-the-wisp fight, and then got back up again. Never gonna keep her down. So, yeah, but yeah, it's I'd say probably probably mid to late afternoon at the moment. So, with the sun setting, it's fairly thick, trees around here. And you guys are starting to hear kind of the frogs and maybe some fireflies around, coming out as dusk comes here in this little swamp.
I'm just to start honking my nose and explore and see how explored.
Sure. So from where you guys are in terms of places you haven't really gone, and there is, further into this swamp, you do see a few more islands, and things down to the southeast. There isn't a convenient log between this current larger island and the next one, and you're not entirely sure what the status of the swamp water itself is. But it's about, a 10 foot, 10, 15 foot gap between that bigger island and the smaller one that way. And then back up in the woods, there were some other trails that went to the east. There's a pretty decently sized, cliff of sorts that kind of rises above the woods to the east, and the trails seem to head towards that through the woods, whether they eventually just go along it, continuing to the southeast along the cliff, or go up them somehow, you don't know. But those are the main ways you guys haven't been yet.
Well, where should we go next?
Map.
Sorry guys, I'm having audio issues. Be right with you.
That's alright. My map is being a little strange and drifting off in one direction.
It's got important map stuff to do.
I guess so. Yeah, it's off to find its people. Let me see if I can open this map again. That was weird. Where was that one? There it is. Okay, now it's not walking away. Alright, so I see, looks like Conquer, Bronze, you guys are back up there, kind of in the middle of the woods. You can see your other circus compatriots out in the open field to the northwest. They are continuing to clear away rocks and things from the somewhat rough open field out there. Are the rest of you kind of heading up that way as well, I assume?
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, let's get y'all scooted up here. I know Braz, Maz, were you guys doing any tending to Grotus and Nini at all?
Well, I suppose we probably should, huh? Let me roll a medicine check.
Alright, 15, that passes that. So, was it 2d8s, yeah? Was that on? Who's that on?
I'll give it to Grotus.
To Grotus, okay.
Thank you.
Nice, a respectable amount. And a pass on Maz as well. You doing Grotus or Nini on yours?
Nini.
Nini, okay. Go ahead and roll your 2d8s. And another respectable roll. Nice. And let me fix Nini up here. Okay.
Rub a little dirt in your wounds, put a band-aid on it, you'll be fine.
They look a little bit better. Still a little rough around the edges, but I mean that's kind of normal for Grotus. So
Oh, sorry, the dirt had some rocks in it. My bad.
All right,
Yeah,
so
it feels great.
so from where you guys are, there is a little trail kind of going northeast, and then this other one going to the southeast, with this fallen log against the side of it here. All right, looks like we're scooting southeast here. Oops, that's not the mode I wanted. All right. So, you head down this southeastern path, and it doesn't take very long before you find yourself at the base of this cliff. The forest kind of ends abruptly against it. Like, it goes right up to it. Like, there isn't really any space against this cliff. The trees, the brush and things, they all kind of grew up right to the edge. And there's this kind of sheer face of quartz-studded granite that looms above you over the treetops. And there is a decently sized cave mouth kind of yawning open in front of you in the side here. It's pretty dark inside. From what you can see, the only light is what's spilling through the opening here. Seems to be fairly moss covered. You see it growing across the stone floor and up the walls, and patches of fungus here and there sticking out. And at least from what you can see, it's a little difficult just because it gets so dim in there. But it looks like it continues on in the back of the room there, of this chamber at least, deeper into this hill.
Well, my little goblin heart is just ecstatic and wants to go in, but I will not make that decision for everybody.
It's a fairly low cave, too, in terms of height. Like, the cave itself seems to be between, 5.5, 6 feet high. So those of you that aren't goblin-sized, maybe bumping your heads a bit on this. It's fairly low. Enough space to get through, but you're not going to be able to necessarily walk up straight, depending on how tall you are. I think that only affects Curtis.
Yeah, only one of us isn't goblin sized or can't instantly transmorph into something not goblin sized.
Indeed.
Well, somebody has to reach the high shelves.
You guys go on front. Don't let me get in the way.
Let's do this.
All right. So as you're kind of moving into this cave here, you can see Scorch kind of sniffing around at the floor as you guys go in, and he seems to be making some noises about it. He keeps kind of stopping and sniffing and stopping and sniffing.
Okay. Can I do a perception to see if I can hear or see anything else?
Yeah, sure. Okay. So in here, you've stepped into the cave a little bit, and your eyes are kind of adjusting a little, and you don't see anything particularly of note in this opening room here. But you do see that the cave continues further inwards. It is pretty dank in here, whether that's from the moss and the mushrooms or other things. You're not entirely sure. But whatever it is, it seems to have caught the interest, at least, of Scourge.
Okay, I'm not too deterred by that. I will keep on keeping on.
Okay.
You coming, friends?
I'm trying. Moss stepped on me.
Here, let me help you out there. Okay.
Gross is bringing up the rear, crab walking.
Crap looking.
Nice approach.
All right. So yeah, as you guys come in here and your eyes are adjusting a bit, and Grotus is having to do some silly walks to get in here. You see that this extends to the northeast. Deeper in, the ground is kind of littered with dirt and dried leaves and things, and it looks like the passage goes in a couple directions up in here. To the north and to kind of an easterly direction.
Is anyone comfortable putting up a magical source of light? I don't really see that well.
Oh, that's right. You're like the only one who doesn't have dark vision too, huh?
I think so, yeah.
Sorry, I forget that. Yeah, I just think you're one of us.
Yeah, I've got a torch.
Okay.
Honker's carrying torches now?
Yeah, that seems kind of weird.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I'm not going to dwell on it too much.
Weird, stranger things have happened.
That's not even like the close. That's probably like the most normal thing that's happened today.
I don't like it, but I don't know enough science to argue about it.
It's
All
my
right.
brother.
Alright. Thank you, Honker. This is your brother. His name is Smoker.
Oh man, why is the map being so slow?
It's not just me, right?
No, it's me too. Like I see like the tokens moving, and it's like ka-chunk, 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 ka-chunk.
Well, we're kind of moving slowly through the cave.
There you go. The map
Not in the
is being
mood.
cautious for you. So Maz, Braz, as you two are kind of taking the lead here, walking into this short cave. As you get into this passage here, with all these leaves and dirt and whatnot, you hear us like a slight sound as you're stepping through here. Roll a acrobatics check for me.
Well, I saw the dice. Where'd it go?
Yes, yeah, assuming Fantasy Grounds allows you to.
Try it again.
Just wait, it's gonna crash.
I don't know what is up with this tonight. Jeez Louise.
Okay, I gave up. I tried twice. They'll eventually show up.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything on my end here. For me, Moss and Process tokens are still just kind of... Oh, there they went.
There we go. There we go.
All at once. Okay. Acrobatics. Let's see. All right. Well, with any of those, you're good. So, Maz, Braz, both of you kind of hear this kind of slight metallic sound, and deftly kind of dodge out of the way, and the wind that's kind of kicked up by you two rapidly moving rustles some of these leaves around, and you see on the ground here amidst the leaves and the dirt look to be some pretty rusty looking caltrops that seem to have probably been here a while given the state of them, but kind of nestled amongst the detritus here.
right.
Right up there, you find anything that ain't dead?
Anything not dead among like the caltrops or past them?
No, he's just yelling at the goblins.
Oh, you're just
Quit
going
farting around.
Nothing too exciting yet.
Do caltrops bother me? Can I just walk over those? I'm kidding. But
Yes, you're immune.
I'll peer down that, try and like kind of scoot them out of the way.
Yeah, I mean they're just kind of strewn on the ground here among the dirt and the leaves. So if you know they're there, you can just kind of shove them all off to the side or something like that, or take them if you want rusty caltrops for some reason.
Yeah, no, I have no use for those.
All right.
Which way should we go?
So immediately to your north, this just seems to open right up into another chamber of this cave, and then kind of to the east southeast, there's a little bit of a tunnel, and it seems like it continues into some more chambers that direction. The southeast in particular, you get a bit of a smell coming from that direction. Not a particularly good smell, a bit of a rotten smell.
Well, it seems like we're already heading north a bit, so let's check that out first. And then we'll just deal with the rot when we get to it.
Indeed. Alright, so you head to this northern chamber here. Get our friends up here with the rest of us. Alright, so in this chamber, this is a little bit larger. So as you guys kind of step out beyond this little hallway, or this little tunnel where the caltrops were, the roof goes up a little bit. In here, it's about 7 feet high, so you're able to stand up just fine, Grotus, without having to crab walk anymore. This seems to be the remains of some sort of camp. There are, the remains of torches that are kind of sticking out of a couple crude holes in the walls, what looks like they've been, burned out for years. There's a fire pit of sorts next to a makeshift camp, kind of on the western end of the chamber. And there's chunks of the granite rock and dirt are kind of piled up in one corner, kind of like someone was attempting to clear the floor up a bit. But it seems like it hasn't been used in quite some time. Like the fire pit has no recent looking ashes or anything, and the bedding here is all pretty soiled and rotting away.
Any kind of idea, like what kind of, I guess Scrotus starts wondering, what kind of person live in a fucking cave like this?
Yeah, do you go and like check out the what's left of this bedroll over there, things like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
If there's any relics of the life flood here.
Sure. So you dig around, and among the kind of tattered, decaying bedroll, you find a notebook tucked away down in here in its own kind of leather satchel, which seems to have kept it somewhat safe from the elements. It's a loose leaf parchment notebook bound in kind of a burgundy leather and tied with a silver cord. And it looks to be a journal as you're flipping through it.
Scrotus says, oh, that explains it. They're a fucking nerd. He throws it. Which the Bernie one? Take this.
So what it...
Got more stuff to make fire out of.
Who are we tossing the journal at?
Sorry, over to Bras.
Over to Braz.
Like,
Okay.
oh, you got paper for your next fireworks trick.
I'm slightly offended that you think that I need paper for my fireworks.
Well, be offended all you want.
How is Scorch's demeanor right now? Is he like gotten on edge or anything? Is he still pretty chill? Kind of relying on him to see if something's up.
Sure. Scorch is looking down towards the southeast. He seems kind of agitated looking, kind of in the direction of that kind of nasty smelling tunnel. Making some kind of whimpering noises of concern.
Okay. All right. Let's just be extra cautious moving forward, guys.
Sure.
Torch seems a little bothered.
You have the journal now if you want to look at it.
Yeah, I was just going to ask where you
Grotus lost interest as soon as he had there's no pictures.
I'm really not interested in it right now. I'll maybe throw it in my bag, but
okay.
So I guess we're gonna go follow the rotten smell in the other chamber.
All right. So you head to the southeast.
I'm sticking very close to Scorch.
Oh, come on, map. Stop doing that. Come on. Let them see.
Just building suspense is all.
There we go. All right. So in this next chamber, this one, as you guys kind of go down the tunnel here, is lower than the entrance one. This one's actually only 5 foot high. So definitely getting into crab walk territory for Grotus and Nini in here. There is a pillar of sorts about the middle-ish of this particular chamber that seems to be what's helping hold up the cave a bit in some ways. There's also, you see on the eastern side of the pillar, there's quite a bit of lichen that's growing all over the ground. And also kind of a yellowy fungus of some sort as well. You're not entirely sure what exactly that is. But
can I do a nature check on it?
You certainly can. All right. So Braz, you kind of wander over here and go to take a look at this yellow stuff growing on this pillar. And you recognize this as a type of yellow mold, which is pretty poisonous. And its spores that it releases into the air are toxic.
Okay, now we'll share that information with my compatriots.
I'll stay away from it then.
Don't eat yellow cave mold. Gotcha.
Very, very bad. Okay, well, I would like to keep going. Grotus, watch your head.
Come on, map.
So looks like this tunnel to the south would be the way to go.
Yeah, that's the only other way from this room is it heads to the south, which continues to smell particularly foul. And you think you hear, the sounds of something move. You hear the sounds of like something moving around coming from this direction. A bit of a rotten meat type of smell.
Then I rush towards that. Not really rushing, but you get it.
Crab walking vigorously.
What an image.
It's kind of a scary image, actually.
All right. So, as you kind of aggressively crab walk towards the south here, Grotus, the ceiling does get a little bit higher again. This particular chamber is about 6 feet high, so you're able to pretty much stand up without too much trouble. This cave, especially as you kind of rush into the passage here, is particularly stanky. It has a very animal smell to it, and you see from the torchlight of your compatriots behind you that there's a fair bit of bones, antlers, scraps of fur that are kind of piled around in various corners in here. And you also see that you have aggressively crab walked into a den of wolves that you seem to have somewhat awoken with your activities in here as it's been getting into the evening. And come on, everybody move. There we go. It seems these may be some of the wolves that you guys have seen around your camp.
Yeah. Anybody speak wolf?
No.
I mean, Scorch probably does.
Fair.
Yeah, but I'm not going to speak for Scorch.
All right, let me see if it actually lets me add these creatures into the map. Oh my god. Well, you can see one. I like how every time that I click on one of these show NPC buttons, Fantasy Grounds goes not responding for a couple seconds.
A new update. Huh? Good times.
I guess so, jeez. Really fucked up with something, I guess. Alright, well everybody go ahead and roll initiative and it'll happen eventually. And so maybe while I'm getting all these NPCs turned on, those rolls will occur. Jeez.
Or we'll all just stand awkwardly in a cave.
Yep. Oh my gosh. Oh boy. Well, I did see the rolls go out, so that's good. Oh, here, let me roll. Neenies. There we go. Okay. Well, I assume this is correct. It doesn't seem like it's thinking anymore. But yeah, so, Grotus, you zipped in here and found a den of wolves. several kind of regular sized wolves, and it looks like a decently large one down to the southeast as well. And so we'll start out with one of these guys. Which one are you? Will it let me do its turn? Yes.
In all due time.
Yeah. All right. So,
Tonight is a battle of testing our patience.
I guess so. All right. So this wolf that's down here runs up and kind of jumps at you, Grotus. All right, and does manage to hit, dealing a bit of damage, and also kind of knocking you over to the ground, Grotus, with that attack. And let's see, where is this one? This one moves back a bit towards the larger one, kind of taking a bit of a defensive stance for the big one. Maz.
I guess I'll do my produce flame.
Okay. I am definitely going to restart Fantasy Grounds when we take a break and see if that helps. That hits. Go ahead and roll up that damage. Very nice. All right. So you blast out flame. What does producing flame look like for Maz? How do you go about this?
The producing flame probably just comes out as like 3 really round fireballs.
Okay.
Like cartoonishly round.
Cartoonishly round. All right. All right. Well, those strike into this one that had going after Grotus, burning it pretty heavily. You can see like there were some patches of fur that you got pretty good, and it's already pretty stinky in here with the various remains of things these wolves have eaten back here, and the wolves themselves. But now it's also a little bit burned stinky, kind of adding to the flavor of the air. What else are you doing?
I think that's it.
Okay. You do still have 2 actions.
Oh. Damn, son, you right.
You forgot we were playing Pathfinder, huh?
Yeah. gonna come up and use my hoop.
All right. Hoop away.
Would that be my second or third action roll?
If you moved, that would be your second, and so this would, or oh, I mean for the attack, this would be the second attack because it's
Okay.
the second time you've attacked. Well, this is your third action because you moved. So after this, you would be done. All right. Unfortunately, that is a miss.
Keep.
Yeah, with the hoop. All right. So the big one back here. You see it kind of like pace around a little bit, but it seems to be biding its time a little, letting the other smaller wolves try to deal with you first before it throws itself into the fray. But it is watching you all very intently. It is a bit unnerving. All right, number 10. This one, number 10, also moves back a little bit towards the big one here, kind of taking up the other side. And let's see, Scorch will go on Roz's turn. Chugga, 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 chugga. Come on, let me see which one this is. Well, whichever one it is, one of these is medium animal 7. And it goes... Oh my god. Oh good, I grabbed the right one.
Good job.
Alright, this one heads toward you, Maz. Kind of jumping at you, jaws agape, and you manage to dodge out of the way. And, you know, as it lands missing you, it turns and tries once more. Completely missing once again. Dodgy goblin action.
Goblin power!
Alright, Grotus, you
It's the
are...
cave. I get a goblin buff for being in a cave.
That's probably what it is. You got dank cave full of moss. Peak.
We're very much in our element.
Very much so. That makes a lot of sense. Grotus, you're currently prone. You got a wolf on top of you that's a little bit burned. What are you doing?
By his fucking face.
All right.
I don't think I can drop into stumbling stance when I'm prone. I didn't have my nunchucks drawn, so I'm just going to use regular ass unarmed strikes, I think.
I mean, being prone on the ground seems pretty drunken to me. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think that would work for a stance.
Well, I guess yes, a stumbling stance might be a thing there. All right, so I'll try that from ground.
But I mean, you can't look at the crab. Isn't that stumbling?
Well,
I'll roll about as if I'm more in trouble. It's like I'm in more trouble than I think I am.
Yeah, I think for now at least it'd probably just be the regular unarmed strikes. Not so sure on the stance for while being prone. So.
Okay, then I'm going to. Here comes the attacks.
Oh, that was like a wavering between 19 and 1. Oof. All right, critical miss on that one. I mean, I think with this on, if you do want to do like a strength check or whatever to try to rest this thing off of you and get up, I would say that would be doable too, if you wanted to do that for your third action. But that strike does hit. So go ahead and roll up the damage on that one.
Okay, for that I don't actually have a non-stumbling unarmed strike, so I'm gonna roll the d6.
Okay.
And the damage, the strength mod for that would be +3.
Okay. Very nice. All right. Let me go ahead and apply that here. Very.
Then I'll roll that strength check to see if I can stand up.
Sweet. Sounds good.
That'll be my third action.
Did that the wrong direction. There we go. So a very solid thwack into this wolf with the unarmed strike, and with that, like combined with the very solid hit, and you trying to wrest this thing off of it, you kind of dazed it enough from the smack that you were able to push its weight off of you and get back up out of a prone position. But that one in particular is not looking too good. All right, that takes us to Nini. Let me get Nini's stuff up here. All right, psychic stuff. Okay. Let's see. All right, so Nini uses their psychic abilities here and casts Astral Rain back in the corner there where the two wolves are still next to each other in the southwest. And so this flings a mass of furious thoughts into the air where they expand into psychic blades or other shapes that rain down on creatures in the area. And let's target 9. Oops. Oh my god, come on, Fantasy Grounds. Hey, welcome. There we go, finally. Okay, cast. Alright, so that rains down on both of them. One succeeds its roll, or succeeds its saving throw, and the other one fails. They do still take some damage in both cases. Alright, these spectral swords and daggers, psychic swords and daggers rain down on these wolves who seem somewhat confused by this. This isn't something they really understand or have seen before, just that they are getting hurt from nothing back here in the corner. See, and this takes... Let's see. Okay, so that's just the one action for Nini. And so while that's going on, All right, for Nini's other action, we're going to cast Forbidden Thought on the wolf that's close. That's kind of just south of Maz here, and this is going to place a forbidden thought in the wolf's mind. In this case, he will choose bite. And if the wolf attempts to do so on their next turn, they will take psychic damage from doing so. Braz, what are you doing?
I think I'm gonna go ahead and just use my club on that one that's up on Grotus.
Okie dokie.
Well, damn. And accomplish nothing.
Damn. Surprisingly dodgy, despite being in your goblin element.
I mean, this is their home turf, though, so...
Fair. A reasonable excuse.
They got a home field advantage.
They do. All right, Honker.
I will cast haste on Grotus.
Okay. What does the haste do in Pathfinder?
Another action.
Another action. Ooh.
Or striking or striding.
Very nice. All right.
And then I'll throw an Inspire Courage on everybody else. I'm trying to put these effects on people, but it'll...
That's fine. We know it'll take a little bit of time. Yeah, once we clear this out here, we'll take our break and I will restart Fantasy Grounds, and hopefully that'll help with its latency tonight.
That'll be my turn. That's all 3 actions.
Okie dokie. Oh dear. I clicked next turn and we went into not responding again. Well, I think we might take our break a little bit sooner than expected, since this seems to have completely frozen up. Nope.
Don't let it know you're scared.
Yep, and there it goes again. Okay, yeah. All right, we're gonna go ahead and take our little partway break here, and I'm going to restart things, and yeah, hopefully that will go a little bit smoother when we return. So we'll be back in probably 10 minutes or so. Do what you got to do, get a drink of water, things like that, and we'll continue with hopefully less lag. Oh, there go all the Inspire Courages. All right, we'll be back in just a second, hopefully with less technical problems. Okie dokie. Hopefully this goes a little bit smoother. Okay, so we did do Conquer, and you got all your little buffs out. Looks like those are all
My
still.
buffs are normal sized. It's average
Average buffs. Huh?
for a bard, okay?
Alrighty, and looks like make sure they're on everybody. It looks like it didn't say that they were on Braz, so I guess if you want to try that on Braz, then they should all be there. The rest are all there. But yeah, otherwise looks like we're good. Let's see. Alright, this guy down here. Cool, looks like that went through.
Can you share the map again?
Oh, yes, of course. There we go.
Thank you.
Okay, so this is one of the wolves in the corner. So at the start of a turn, it's going to take from the stuff raining down, which is what's the damage on that psychic weapon box? Let's see here. Okay. That's 5 plus 4, 9. Okay, so this wolf goes to move, trying to come after you and also trying to get out of this rain of psychic damage that it's taking that it doesn't quite understand where it's coming from. And as it goes to try to leave, the damage from that ticks off and manages to do enough that it falls to the ground dead. So that one is out. And the other one does the same, also trying to go towards you and get out of this damage. And also takes enough that it dies. Alright, well that takes care of that corner then. So that brings us back to the top of the order here with Maz. Maz, you there? Or did we lose you? I think we might have lost Maz again. Alright, let me bring up Maz here. Alright, Maz going to do the hoop on this one that was going after Grotus. With a successful hit. Nice, doing enough damage that one gets taken down as well. Oh, good. It gave us the splat on that one. All right, and
It's not satisfying if there's no splat blood.
Yeah, right. Let's see, and then her other actions here. We'll take a couple strikes at this other one right nearby. With a 1. And a hit, nice. And a 2. Miss on that one. Alright. Oops. So seeing their compatriots going down on here, the two wolves here by the larger one move out of sight deeper into the cave, kind of making a variety of kind of yipping noises here. Why is it not letting me move you? There we go. Come on. Well, it's still being weird. Alright. Okay. Well, those two are moving that way, even though I can't get them to go as far as I would want right now for some weird reason. And this one attacks at Maz.
Ooh.
Oh, that rolled it on itself. The one that was to Maz misses. The other one, I don't know why it's attacking itself. It should not.
But it attacked itself critically.
It hurt itself in its confusion. Alright, so it tried the once. Tried the twice. 3 times. Nothing. Oh, that reminds me. That had a psychic damage thing on it from Nini, which hold on. Jump between a couple character sheets here. Let's see. 1d6. Okay. All right. So it doing those attacks, it took psychic damage from doing those. Oops. There we go. And I guess it did hurt itself in its confusion somehow. Doesn't really understand where that hurt came from, but it took some. Let's see. Nini. What is this? Alright, so he does glimpse weakness on the big one. And what this does is it aids allies in landing precise hits. And the first ally that hits this target with a successful strike will deal additional precision damage equal to 1 plus this spell's level. Cool. Okay. So he targets a weakness in this large animal. And it doesn't seem to have an attack or an effect thing that it gives, so I'll just have to remember that. And then it will do some phase bolts at this one closest to us here. with a critical hit on the phase bolt. Takes that one out. All right. Grotus. These other wolves down at the other end seem to be trying to move deeper into the cave.
I'm not much inclined to chase them unless we really need. I guess we do not want wolves eating our patrons. It seems important.
Yeah, I guess that kind of leaves that up to all of you here. These other three seem to be fleeing, moving deeper into this cave here. What course of action do we want to take at this point?
I mean, we may have struck enough fear in them that they leave us alone. Or we
Don't
might
have
have
a lot of force.
Or we might have
Well, we
just
have
kissed
some-
us off.
Don't we have some animal tamer types with the traveling circus?
Yeah, I'd say you probably do.
I don't think they're going to respond to us or anything like that, but maybe we can leave the rest alone for now and alert our animal tamer types to what to do. Might not be able to make them part of the show, but it might have a better way to deal with them. I don't think we need to keep punishing these things. They're retreating further back into their den.
I agree.
All right. All right. Well, if that is the consensus, then we can, leave them be to their dealings here in the cave and head back out. Is there anything else you want to look around at?
I think we're done with the cave for now, right?
Yeah, I think we've
Okay.
done all we need to do in here.
All right.
Once we get back outside, I'll finally take a look at that journal.
Sure. All right. So, here, let me unlock tokens. There we go. Should be able to scoot around at your leisure now. And we'll go ahead and take these other guys out of the list. Oof, still being a little funky. Alright, let me pull up the info on that journal here. Oh, jeez. And now it's being real slow again. God damn it. This just does not want to cooperate tonight. Oh boy. Okay, so the journal. So you take a look in this, and paging through it, it seems to be the journal of someone named Juniper, and kind of details their exploits as a bit of a pickpocket turned cat burglar type thief on the streets of Escadar. The entries in here are dated 4700 AR, which is about 8 or so years ago. And as you're kind of flipping through here, kind of skimming through the entries, the scale of the crimes that this Juniper person is attempting seem to grow over time. At the beginning, talking about like pickpocketed some guy in the market or whatever, and later on, she starts getting into kind of more ambitious heists, targeting banks and temples. And toward the end of the entries, the Juniper is writing about her fears of this competent deputy that is kind of rising through the constabulary at the time, and Andira Pauldreen. You guys have met and know she was the city official that you guys work with to kind of get your little plot of land. But I guess this was a time before her current station. But she has fears of Andira and her competency as a deputy, and fears that Andira has found evidence to catch Juniper, and that is the final entry in there. In addition to the memoirs of this local thief, there's kind of a rough sketch of the cave system in here. The area over by the yellow mold, she is labeled Wanderer's Folly Danger. And it also references some stolen items that they have hidden in a tree in a nearby glade, which is noted as being, if it lets me, which seems to be the other trail to the northeast that you guys had not checked out yet. It seems to be up in there, where they cached away some stuff they yoinked.
Nice. We gotta recover some loot. It's the anti-theft protocol. If you think something might have been stolen, we just gotta gather it all up, keep it together in our bag.
All right, so you guys head up to that little other glade to check out if this recounting of these goodies is accurate.
Heck yeah.
Heck yeah. All right. So you guys make your way up to this little glade here. Get this pulled up. All right. So this little glade is fairly overgrown. And there's a little pool in the northern part that is beneath the boughs of a huge oak tree. Everybody, as you're coming up in here, roll a perception check as you're kind of looking around in here for the stash. And we'll see if Fantasy Grounds lets us find out what those perception rolls are.
Okay, so you guys saw the dice as well. I put dice on there.
Yeah, it's just there.
There they go. Okay. All right. So, Braz Honker, as you guys are checking around in this glade, you notice a few things. One, while you're walking up into this glade, there's that bit of a path through the trees before it comes to this opening. You notice tracks in the dirt of what look like bear tracks of some kind. And then Honker specifically, you also notice the paw prints of what seems to be from a wolf-like creature from the way the paw prints look, but they're quite large. Larger than any of the wolves that you guys ran into in the cave, for sure. In this glade here near the pool, You find the kind of ravaged corpse of a grizzly bear that had been killed at some point. And it seems like it had been like drinking from this pool and killed in the process of this by something bigger than it. But you're not sure what, aside from these paw prints that you found. In addition to this bear corpse and the tracks, all three of you, as you're looking around, you're checking around this oak tree in particular, and you notice a knot in the oak tree's trunk carved with the initials JW. And you're able to kind of crumble away the bark of this knot pretty easily and find a shallow niche in the tree with a cache of stolen items. Let's see what we got in here. So, all right. So you find 10 platinum pieces.
Nice.
Which, pretty nice find there with those.
We're rich.
As well as a... Let's see here. What looks like a little tube. It looks to be made out of some kind of metal. It's about a foot long, and it's covered in engravings of, looks like, open locks and broken chains and things like that. And it makes a little kind of chime noise when you shake it. You're not quite sure what it does exactly, but it seems interesting. And you also find some kind of elixir. Also not entirely sure what it is. But some kind of alchemical compound. But both of these you'd need to get it checked into to find out more. But a nice little haul nonetheless.
I'll play with the tube.
Playing with the tube, it continues to make little jingling noises. But at least out here in the woods, don't seem to notice it doing anything.
The elixir. Anything? Anybody know? Anybody take close look at this elixir? Know better about this stuff?
Hey, is that something I would maybe know about?
Yeah, this might be something you and I think, I can't remember. Nina knew any alchemical stuff aside from drugs.
Most important ones.
Yeah. Yeah, we could do a... I guess maybe like maybe an Arcana check. I'll go with that. Okay. So you take a look over this potion here. You know, go and cork the top. You know, take a drop of it. Try to see if you can suss out what it is. And this seems to be a dark vision elixir.
Sounds handy for me.
Yes. Should probably grab that.
Yeah, that is in the party sheet. Actually, let me distribute the the coin. Here we go. I forget, what does...
We got a lot of stuff in here.
Coins in Pathfinder.
Somebody should be using the Aeon Stone with the Saint Olithiker's Eye.
Oh yeah,
Saint
you guys did find that
Elpixi
last
Arms.
time. Yeah.
So I think it's like whoever's wearing it doesn't have to eat and get some other goodies.
Yeah, Yeah, correct. So when you're wearing this, it has a little Aeon Stone that kind of floats around your head. And...
The clear one we have says you don't need to eat or drink while it's invested by you.
yes.
Doesn't function until it's been working continuously. It has a power that allows you to cast Air Bubble, this primate innate spell, once per day. And then the Saint Olithicone's Eye thing just lets you use the Aeon Stone, but instead of having it orbit your head, it's in an amulet.
Ah, okay. Yeah, somebody should probably take that. That would be useful. Oh, okay, so one platinum piece is 10 gold pieces. So basically found 100 GP. Oh, nice respectable amount. Okay, so with that little cash out of the way, I mean, there is the concern of whatever the heck happened to this bear.
Yeah. Can we look at that a little more closely?
Yeah, sure. Oh, excuse me, Coco. Can you get down, buddy? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So you examine the bear a bit more, and similar to the tracks that Honker had found, like there's some pretty significant claw marks, bite marks in this bear. Again, you're not entirely sure what could have caused them aside, but it's definitely something big.
Can we tell like how old these tracks are?
Sure. So the tracks here, they seem maybe a few days old. Like the bear as well. Like it's a little stinky, just from the beginnings of decomposition, but it seems fairly recent of a kill.
Damn, that's not what I wanted to hear.
Coco buddy. But yeah, other than that, you're not quite sure. Oh,
All right, then is there more area to secure to make sure we have a safe enough space to invite patrons to our circus?
I mean, at this point,
Well, I guess there's whatever giant thing ate the bear. That seems a problem.
Yeah, I mean, at the moment, like the only other places you feel you haven't really poked around in here is deeper into this cave, or there's also like the other kind of smaller islands in the swamp to the southeast, and if there's anything down that direction. But other than those, you've pretty well gone everywhere in this little kind of this little canyon of sorts up between these hills.
Well, as much as I love caves, I don't think we should go any deeper in there.
At least not until we have a wolf solution we're comfortable with.
Fair.
Then should we rest and?
Yeah, I mean, it is
Or,
getting
I
into
mean,
the
we could-
evening by this point. So if you guys did want to go kind of back out to the main camp and rest, recuperate a little bit, you certainly could.
Yeah, I think that's probably a good idea. I don't think there's any like immediate dangers right now.
Yeah, let's report the wolves and not the loot.
All right. So you guys, head back out to the main camp area to the northwest. Progress is looking good. Things are getting more cleared. There's been some kind of initial setup. Getting some of like the big stakes and poles and things in the ground. Getting ready for putting the bigger cloth portions up over them. But at least it seems like a lot of at least there's a decent enough area in the middle that's been cleared enough to kind of get things going for the big tent. And get things going. Like you guys do still have, like Andira gave you guys like 2 weeks to get things set up and like get your first show, so they can kind of come and see and make sure everything is above board. So you guys got plenty of time in that regard. It's only been like a couple days so far, but things seem to be going pretty good so far. And we'll say that you guys go ahead and take a rest. Where the heck? Where did they move the rest button? Oh, there it is. I hear cats zooming around in the background. Okay, taking a rest. Is there any tending from the medicine types that we want to do to help along with that? Some of you are still a little beat up.
Yeah, I can roll for whoever.
Yeah, I can have Maz do theirs as well. Who are you putting yours toward? Oh, let's see. 17, that passes. Okay.
I'll give it to Grotus.
To Grotus? Okay.
Because I see you the first one on the list. So.
Sounds good.
Thank you.
10. Alright, let me fix Grotus up here. Looking good. And then Maz. The 14 does not quite pass. So unfortunately, they don't get to roll anything there, but Gross, you're feeling a little bit better from that. And I think with that, even though it's a little shorter, given that Fantasy Grounds continue to be a pain in the butt, we might just call it there for now, even though it's been a little short since a couple people aren't here and Fantasy Grounds is not agreeing with us, and I don't know if I want to get into another combat situation if it's going to continue to be incredibly laggy like this. That just makes stuff drag. So let's just call that good for the time being. Let's see. Save. And yeah, so we'll pick up again. Maybe Fantasy Grounds will update between now and then, I'm sure, and hopefully fix whatever the heck is going on.
We
right now.
can only hope.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what's causing that right now. Let's see. Looks like we're back on the 21st. Sweet. In the meantime, let's see if there's anybody else I can send y'all to. Who's streaming right now? Alright, we'll send you over that way. Alright, we're gonna go raid Steph. Looks like they're doing more Final Fantasy 16. A little bit shorter tonight. Technical problems. Oh well. Those happen from time to time. But we will be back tomorrow. I have a co-stream with some friends. We're going to be doing a little Gardic phone tomorrow evening, which will be interesting. Haven't actually done a stream like that before with, well, aside from with Riz, but that was with her sitting here. But haven't done this kind of stream before, so seems like it'll be fun. We'll go raid Steph.
You all need to calm the fuck down.
Don't tell me how to live my life.